host with the most, the one and only John Breakdown. And I'm joined by my son, Sebastian Breakdown. As it is a father and son day today, his mom is currently working. And for all you guys that is wondering, it's been 8 days since I posted a video. We've had another death in the family, which is why I wasn't live, and which is why I haven't been live. And we've been dealing with that, but we're all good now. On this video, we're going to be talking about college football. We're going to be talking about the NFL. And it's week 11. Well, actually heading into week 12 of the college football playoffs. The road to the college football playoffs, I should say. Alabama taking on Mercer. And Ole Miss really stunning Georgia. Ole Miss saved their season. And what's up, Prime Time? What's up, Logan? By the way, Prime Time. And if Blaze McCoy is watching, I'm coming after that lethal world championship. I don't care who I have to go up against in the LTD to get my shot at you, Prime Time. But I want a title shot. Hi, Bubby. So, quickly talking about college football real quick. Right now, the target is on Oregon. Oregon is still the best team in the country on offense and defense. And I think they're going to have a rough road, a rude awakening, if you will, in the Big Ten championship game or the Big 12. I don't know which conference they're in. I think they're in they're in the same conference as Ohio State. And they already beat Ohio State. So I think that Oregon, if it comes down to Oregon and Indiana, because if Indiana beats Ohio State, I think they play this week, I believe. Then Oregon could lose. And right now, looking at the SEC, it's really looking like it's going to be Texas A&M and then Alabama in the SEC championship game. If Alabama can win out, if Alabama can get past Mercer, get past Oklahoma, and get past Auburn, right now, those are 3 games that they must not lose, and they must impress the voters in order to get into the college football playoffs. The 2 dark horses in the college football playoff race is Indiana and BYU. BYU is still undefeated, but they haven't really played anybody. They almost lost in overtime last week. Indiana was held to 20 points offensively by a not so great Michigan defense. They still managed to beat Michigan. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the college football world. Now, shifting gears, going to the NFL. Who would have thought that the Washington Commanders would be in first place of the NFC East? And who would have thought that my Kansas City Chiefs would be 8-0? I certainly didn't. I had us being like 5-5, especially after Rashid Rice went down, after all the injuries that they've received at the wide receiver position. They went out, they go get D-Hop, and somehow they find ways to win. And then now everyone's like, oh, but the refs help. No, the refs did not help in that game against the Broncos. The Broncos, by all rights, should have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. Go back and watch that game, because, my God, Bo Nix outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Rookie. Now, the big game this week is going to be the Bills versus the Chiefs. The Bills have owned the Chiefs during the regular season, not so much in the playoffs. And you got to wonder, how much does Kansas City want to go undefeated? Because we know how tough it is to do. The Patriots went undefeated back in 2007. and they got beat by the Giants in the Super Bowl. The Steelers of 2015 went 11-0 the last 5 games and got knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. I don't know if Cam run the table because they have 2 tough games remaining. They have the Bills and they have the Steelers left on their schedule. And right now the Steelers are looking like a playoff team. There we go. Okay. Buffering a little bit. But personally, I thought Bo Nix was the most NFL-ready quarterback of this draft, not Caleb Williams. Caleb is a bum. Look at Chicago. They're a bum. They're a bum team. They traded away all their draft picks to get Caleb, and Caleb was horrible at USC in college. Bo Nix was great at Auburn. He was fantastic at Oregon. He landed with a good team. Now, do I think the Broncos are going to eventually win the AFC West? Yes, but not this year. Bo Nix is still growing, but I think Sean Payton has his next Drew Brees in Bo Nix if Nix can stay healthy and if they can get that offensive line fixed for Denver. Now, the worst team, it's a 2-team race for the worst team in all of the National Football League, and that's the Dallas Cowgirls and the New York Giants. And the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, yes, you went out and you go get a Bowl winning coach in Mike McCarthy. You saddle him with a talented quarterback in years of CeeDee Lamb. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about the Jets. Thank you for reminding me. What's up, Deadpool? So there's a 3-way tie for worst team. You got the New York Jets, the New York Giants, and the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott, he needs to retire or go to a different team because he's not going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. Prescott's almost in his early 30s. This would be considered his prime. He can't stay healthy. He's done for the season. This is back-to-back seasons where he's gotten hurt. And the Cowboys are wasting the best years of CeeDee Lamb's career. If I'm CeeDee Lamb, yes, I just got signed to an extension, but I want to get traded. Trade me to someone that's going to win me a Lombardi trophy. And looking at the New York Jets, they went out and they got Devontae Adams from the Raiders, and he's done absolutely jack shit with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is done. Stick a fork in him. He's done. And he's the reason why Robert Saleh got fired. And exactly, Tommy DeVito needs to be the quarterback for the Giants, but that's never going to happen because DeVito, if you guys look back towards the last 5 games of the season for the Giants, going back to last year, me and Gio talked about this. DeVito, excellent quarterback. I think they're missing what they have there. Also, you right, Bubs? Breathe. Bubby, here. Here, drink some water. Sorry. And also, talking about them sorry-ass Raiders, they went out and they hired Antonio Pierce. Excellent defensive player. And you're not going to win a Super Bowl with Adrian Connell as your quarterback, nor with whoever their backup is. What are you? You all right, bud? What's up, Jesse? Glad to have you on. And so I don't think if I was the Raiders and if I had to look for a quarterback in this year's draft, because that's what the Raiders need, I would have to look at Georgia's quarterback, Carson Beck, even though Georgia's suspect. Garrett Nussmeier, who's the quarterback at LSU, and Garrett's not that great of a quarterback. He's a turnover machine. Or Missouri's quarterback, Brady Cook. Those are my top 3 choices of quarterback in this year's draft. And can we just talk about Mac Jones and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and also Bryce Young? Bryce Young winning back-to-back games for the Carolina Panthers. I mean, if I'm Bryce Young, yes, I'm winning with the Panthers right now, but I would ask for a trade. Because I think Bryce Young has proved without a shadow of a doubt that he belongs in the National Football League. I just don't think he needs to be in Carolina to do that. And I'm going to get a lot of heat from all the Carolina people here. And yes, the Patriots are rebuilding, but I think they got the wrong quarterback. I think they really should have taken Jalen Daniels, and Washington is proving everyone that they got the steal of this year's draft. I do think the Jags overplayed Lawrence because Lawrence, just like Deshaun Watson, can't stay healthy. He can't win a playoff game to save his life. I think Mac Jones is a better fit for that coaching staff. They're with Doug Peterson in Jacksonville. I think Clemson quarterbacks as a whole are garbage. Deshaun Watson's garbage. Trevor Lawrence is garbage. Yes, they're great in the college football world, having won separate national championships for that university. But when they get to the professional level, they just can't get through. Now, I will say C.J. Stroud, the quarterback for the Houston Texans, I think the Texans are going to take that next leap forward. I also have my eye on Anthony Richardson, who's going to be coming back this week for the Colts. So we'll see what happens with those two young guns. If they stay healthy, that's going to be a battle for their division between the Colts and the Texans. Going to the West Coast, I still think the NFC West is San Francisco's to lose, even though Geno Smith is playing lights out in Seattle. I still think that Brock Purdy and the 49ers are going to own that division for years to come. I think Kyler Murray is a bum in Arizona. Arizona is wasting money with him. I just think that Arizona doesn't have the talent to compete. And Stafford needs to retire. He looks every bit his age. And I think this could be the last hurrah for Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC North. Everyone's thinking that the Ravens were going to own that division. This game this week between the Ravens and the Steelers will determine who's going to win that division. Lamar Jackson. I've never liked Jackson. I thought Jackson was a scrub, which is why the Ravens can't get any weapons or keep any weapons around him to let Marquise Brown go. They went out and they got Derrick Henry because the Titans were stupid to let him go. I mean, the Titans are also garbage too. You had Tannehill and you had Henry. They should have kept Henry and built around him. Yes, he's 30 years of age, but that offensive line was still there. Glad to have each and every one of you guys on. And I also think that looking at all these teams that haven't won in a Super Bowl, like the Vikings, the Falcons are also another dark horse too. Do not forget about Atlanta. Kirk Cousins playing lights out for those Falcons. I mean, if the Falcons can stay healthy once they get into the playoffs, they're just like the Commanders. They have a quarterback who can throw the long bomb and they can hang with anybody. And the Bengals, I said this to a buddy of mine. Joe Burrow is the new Boomer Esiason for the Bengals. Great quarterback, just can never win the big one. And that's because Jamar Chase can't stay healthy. That offensive line can't stay healthy. Their running game can't stay healthy. And their defense, everyone knows how to beat their defense now. But looking at the teams that haven't won a Super Bowl, the Cleveland Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Minnesota Vikings, the Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Bills, I still think the Bills have the best shot out of any of those teams if Josh Allen can. Who is the Bills' wide receiver? They just let him go. They just traded him. I can't remember his name. And I don't know where he went. But that's all the time I have here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you same breakdown time, same breakdown place.